Have you helped many people with grants, with like grants? I know Florida's got is it like a $6,000 grant program or something like that. Have you done many of those types of programs to help people? And if so, can you talk about an instance where it came into play and you were able to close somebody with it?
Yeah, it comes up more often now, especially in a state like Florida, because you have closing costs that are a little bit higher than they are in some other states. And sometimes that's hard for people to bridge the gap. Where they're like, I've got, down payment money, but I can't cover like down payment and closing costs. And they can't always get it from the seller, and it's sometimes difficult to manage. And you also don't want to put people in a position where they're taking all of their savings and putting it into equity in a house. Like, yes, you still have the money, like it's still a part of your net worth. But if you've got 15 grand, sometimes like if we can get you into a house with you keeping the 15 grand, like that's the ideal scenario so that you have money left over after. Like, so a lot of people, it's not like they don't have the money. It's that it doesn't make financial sense for them to take their money and put it into equity. But they are still a quality borrower. Like, just because they don't have, 100 grand in the bank doesn't mean that they can't make a mortgage payment and that they shouldn't own a home. So that's where like all these grant programs come into play. And that happens all the time. So we've done it with just no down payment USDA loans, VA loans, but the Florida Hometown Heroes grant, we've used that a few times. I've got an option now with UWM where you can do 0% down. So we've worked it out sometimes where we can do no money down, then I cover a portion of the closing costs with a lender credit, and then we've had either the seller or the realtor kick in the rest of it, so that you get people into a position where the terms of their loan are the same as if they had a down payment option, but they were able to get into the house with no money down. The difference being that a lot of the times when you do these grant programs, like you don't want to have a second mortgage. Like you don't want to have to take a higher rate or a second mortgage just because you didn't put money down. So the most important thing isn't necessarily just getting in there with no money down, but it's also getting a favorable mortgage with no money down. So by putting those pieces together, you can create a scenario where they're like, yes, you still have the same rate as somebody who, might have put 20% down on their house and had a good credit score. You still get the same house that you would have gotten, if you put money down. You didn't have to say like no to this one and pick a crappier one. But it gets you into the house and you keep the money. So like it's using the grant programs to the best of their abilities more so than just saying like, hey, we'll give you the cash. I think that's the biggest difference, is being able to use them like to the highest level essentially.